It's most likely going to be too late. It's rain wrapped. The atmosphere is pretty moist today. We got a surge of moisture from the south late in the day. You may have noticed the temperature shooting up in the afternoon, and that's what's caused these storms to kind of fire up here. Let's go back to the radar one more time, guys, and I'm going to come over here and Danielle, any new reports coming in from our storm spotters?
No, we keep looking right now, and the latest was just the rotation still being reported going towards the Sugar Creek and Tryon Street area, but nothing new about damage, which is a promising thing to hear.
Yeah, that's a good sign. So we're not getting any further reports, and we probably would get reports because this is moving over a very populated area, so this is not one of those storms where it's over a very rural spot and we're not getting a lot of reports. This would be causing some damage right now. There's probably still rotation. You got to remember, just because there's rotation doesn't always mean it's touching the ground. Oftentimes these storms will rotate in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. What we're looking for to see if that makes it down to the ground, and right now we know this did touch the ground right at the Mecklenburg-Gaston County line near the Catawba River, touched down maybe all the way to 77. Then it may appear to have lifted, but that might not be the end of it. It may kind of be reorganizing, getting ready to drop once again. Our storm spotter, Barry Thornton, is out once again on this storm, and here's a look from his camera. He is, I guess, heading towards the storm. It looks like, based on how dark the sky is, I think that actually, that the track off to the left there? He is heading up, it looks like, into Cabarrus County, so he is following the storm carefully, and you can see the view he has. It's pouring down rain, and off to the right, you see how bright the sky is, but off to the left of the driver's side of that car, you can see how dark it is. So very strong storm, and again, thanks to our storm spotters. We don't recommend that people do this, but these are trained spotters that we use to help give information to you as a viewer to let you know if this storm is actually touching the ground, and we did get several reports already, confirmation of these storms touching the ground.
Sorry to interrupt. When I was talking to Barry a couple moments ago on the phone, he was heading that way where you can see right here with him Skyping, and he was saying a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning. The clouds were lowering, but he said he was obviously putting safety first and making sure he was okay, but he's going to head towards there and continue to give us reports if he does see anything. And
let's go back to the radar just for a second, because he's going towards the storm, so he's down here traveling on the backside, which is the way you want to chase a storm. You don't want to punch the core, because you would be driving through the rain, and just when you think the sky is going to clear, that's where the tornado is. Storm chasers go on the south and the backside of the storm so they can look up at it as the storm moves away from them. That's why it's called storm chasing. You're going after the storm, not meeting up with the storm. So you're looking on the southwest side of the storm, and Barry's actually traveling up in that direction, and we got a view from his camera once again. Let's take a look at it, because this is very good information for me, because I'm looking at the radar and I like to look at these pictures to see, all right, what's the structure of the clouds looking like to you on the ground. He's coming up to a green light here, and you can see lowering in the sky there. He's taking a right turn here, and you can see the storm is clearly off to his left because the bright sky is off to the right, and he's looking off to the left. So that would be probably the southwest side of this, or the right side is probably looking southwest, and off to the left is looking back towards the north and the east.
We're getting some new information from the Weather Service chat. Canceled tornado warning for Iredell and Mecklenburg County, but at 6:13 this evening, Doppler radar continues to indicate a tornado located near, correct me if I'm wrong with the pronunciation, Ecknoville?
Yep,
or 9 miles northwest of Concord, still moving northeast at 40 miles an hour.
Okay,
so
and that's exactly the area we're looking at, Daniela, right there. Let me draw where that is coming in from this area right here.
Okay.
Doppler radar indicated tornado there, moving northeast at 40. Was it 40 still?
40 miles an hour still,
yeah. 40. So let's put a new storm track on this. We'll track, I'm not tracking the hail. The hail and rain is probably right over Kannapolis. You're probably wondering, why aren't we tracking that? That's important, but right now we're worried about the tornadic part of the storm. So let's show 40 miles per hour northeast Kannapolis. You've got, what, 7 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes. And don't use these exact times, because the storm could speed up, it could slow down. But just to give you an idea, you have very little time. Rockwell, 6:46, Salisbury, 6:48, and High Rock at 7:02. So that gives you an idea. Kannapolis, if it's not on you already, it's going to be there within minutes. China Grove, Rockwell, Concord, just passing on. The reason you see me looking off screen here, I keep seeing Barry's shot. Let's take Barry's shot once again, because he's actually chasing the storm, and boy, that's a good view. Now he's looking off to the left side of his car here. Boy, that is an ominous looking storm. Once again, thanks to our storm spotters, Barry Thornton chasing the storm right now. He's in Cabarrus County, it looks like, based on what we're seeing on the camera and on his GPS. He's chasing the storm off to his left side here. He's moving northeast as well. He's paralleling the storm just to the south of the storm. And to give you an idea where that is, let's go back to the radar just for a second. There you go. You can see where he's at. To kind of give you an idea where he's at, I'll show you on the screen. He's roughly down here, not on 85, but on some rural roads going up and following the storm. And when he looks off to the left of his car, he's looking back towards this way. And when he's looking this way, that's when you see the bright part of the sky. So that gives you an idea of the storm he's following. So Mecklenburg County, Gaston County, you're in the clear. Right now, all folks in Kannapolis, please be seeking shelter right now. This is a very dangerous storm. And let me give you an idea of just how dangerous this storm is. We can show you this storm in 3D. And the scary thing about this storm is how tall it is. And it's able to tap into that wind shear we had in the environment today. And that's why we're not only seeing the very large hail, but those strong winds. Now, what's going on? Down at the ground today, the winds have been out of the south. Up above us, about 5,000 feet, the winds have been out of the west. So what happens is the wind changes height, or changes direction with height, and when this storm gets tall enough to tap into, this whole thing, this column, starts rotating. We call that a mesocyclone. Eventually, if it gets concentrated down to a very small funnel, that's the tornado that comes out. So that's why we've seen so many, I should say, reports of rotation, funnel clouds, and even debris, is because this whole thing's been rotating, Daniela.
Right, and it's Enochville, by the way.
Enochville.
And like we said, we did get reports of people saying it's right over there, so continued on that track that you've been talking about, moving to the northeast at 40 miles an hour. And even though this warning does expire at 6:30, according to our track, we could still see this plowing through till 7 o'clock this evening.
Yeah, we will probably likely see this extended. There's no way this is going to be out of Rowan County at 6:30. No. So I would just go ahead. If you live in, it's out of Cabarrus County. So Cabarrus County, it's right on the county line. They'll probably take Cabarrus County out, but you can see right there, it's actually just to the north of Kannapolis now. This is the area we're watching. And again, we're getting to an area between our radar views, so we may have to switch to the Raleigh radar to get a good view of this coming up shortly. But just to give you an idea, you can see right here, if there's rotation, just to give you an idea, if there's rotation within this storm, I'll give you a good idea on where it is. If there's a tornado, it's going to be right in this area here. And it's going to be tracking up in this direction at 40 miles per hour. So you get an idea, looking at that, between Kannapolis and Enochville, and then up towards Landis, then to China Grove, that's the area we're going to be concerned about. That's where the tornadic winds are. So let's put another storm track, because I want to keep up to date on the speed of this. It's been fluctuating quite a bit. And you can see Kannapolis, it's probably there already. It says 6:30, but based on what I'm seeing, it's probably right on top of you. Then Rockwell, 6:56, and Salisbury, 6:58. So as Daniela mentioned, even though the warning expires at 6:30, if we still see rotation on the ground, we're clearly going to see this warning extended probably beyond 6:30. Let's go back to a Barry shot if we could briefly, guys. This is Barry Thornton, our storm. So he looks like he's on 85 now, heading north and east. So he's heading into Cabarrus County, up towards Rowan County, chasing this storm. He is just south of that storm, that supercell that's producing that tornado. So we're keeping a close eye on that. We get any more damage reports in, Daniela?
No damage reports right now, just continued Doppler indicated tornado continuing to move to the northeast at 40 miles an hour. We are getting reports of hail between nickel and marble size, so
Gotcha.
Decent size hail reported from Mecklenburg County, Gaston County, Cabarrus County. So the hail we're still seeing with this system, Brad.
Yeah, and our mobile newsrooms are out where the storm first touched down, all the way back towards Belmont. They're setting up. They're going to have a picture for us from the initial damage here shortly. But again, the area we're concerned about, Rowan County, this is the area we're concerned about. And I do believe we're getting some of those pictures in now. Let's go to Bobby Sisk over at the news desk. Bobby.
Well, yeah, Brad, we've been following this as it moved through Gaston County. This is a live picture right now from our mobile newsroom. Look at that. Brad, I want you to look at this as I'm talking about it so you can give me an idea. I'm seeing insulation thrown into the trees, what appears to be a trailer or some type of structure there absolutely destroyed. This is apparently in Belmont around Wiley Loops. That's one of the